Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the participants to the second day of our faculty development program on integrated green construction and life cycle assessment. We are delighted to have your continued presence and we look forward to another day of meaningful learning and interaction. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker for today's session, Dr. Sudarshan J.S. Sir. Dr. Sudarshan J.S. is a distinguished environmental engineering professional and currently serves as the head of School of Energy and Environment at NICMA University, Pune. With over 2 decades of experience in research, academia, and industry, he has made remarkable contributions in the field of sustainability and environmental management. He is a chartered engineer and IGBC accredited professional with CII LCA expertise with deep expertise in sustainability, circular economy, impact assessment, waste management, and ESG strategies. He is also an associate editor with the scientific reports Springer Nature and an internationally recognized speaker on sustainability and life cycle assessment. Dr. Sudarshan has led and contributed to numerous research projects and publications focusing on circular economy, climate change, and aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. He has also been actively involving in organizing and leading national and international conference, workshop, and research initiatives. Today, he will be delivering a session on Beyond Carbon, introducing LCA through circular economy and social lens. We are truly honored to have such an eminent expert with us. Sir, I warmly invite you to take over the session. Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to one and all. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. First of all, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share some of our research findings with respect to the LCA among the different stakeholders, starting from academic, practitioners, students, and research scholars. So I feel this is one of the great opportunity which was given to me to highlight some of the aspect of life cycle assessment, which is one of the trending topic in the present day, not only in the present day, and it is going to dominate in the near future the entire world. So that is the significance of this particular topic, because when you take up this particular topic with respect to the India, so we are doing very minimal level of this life cycle assessment and with respect to the carbon accounting and other things. But in future, it is going to be mandatory and it is going to be the thing which will be implemented and which will be made compulsory at all sectors to follow and implement such kind of initiative to achieve carbon neutrality. Yeah. So with this, I will go to the presentation. Hello, sir. Meeting? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
1 minute. Slide is moving?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So, before going to the discussion, I want to ask the participants, what is the reason behind I have given the topic Beyond Carbon, introducing life cycle assessment through circular economy and social lens? What is the reason behind that I have given the topic, or the organizers coined this particular topic and requested me to deliver the talk on this particular topic? What is the reason behind that? What is the reason behind that? Anybody? Say right or wrong, you just unmute yourself and share your ideas so that it will be easy to take it further in that particular angle. Whoever may be students, participants, anybody, research scholars, you can request the organizers to give permission to unmute yourself and share your ideas. What is the reason behind the topic given to this particular session, Beyond Carbon, Introducing LCA through Circular Economy and Social Lens? Yeah, so there are some responses in the chat box. One is to reduce carbon emission. Society is the key stakeholders, and increasing carbon emission and need for the LCA. There is no LCA in construction industry as of now. We are only focusing on green aspect presently. Okay. Any other thing? Any other thing? LCA helps in understanding carbon footprint. Yeah, fine. Okay. So, as many of you have given the answers with respect to the LCA will play a major role with respect to the carbon emission reduction, carbon estimation and other things. So that is the one of the significant reason which made me to select this particular topic, because many people and most of the people are knowing the LCA as one of the tool, especially for estimating or especially for identifying the carbon emission or identifying the carbon accounting with respect to the different materials or environmental impact of the different materials. Because in many of the cases, many research findings and many research publications are existing in that particular angle. But I have put a word beyond carbon. Beyond carbon. The reason behind is LCA is not only looking into only the carbon emission or environmental impact. There are much more things we can do with LCA. I want to inform all the stakeholders or all the participants who joined in this particular webinar to understand that LCA is not only a tool for estimating the carbon emission, estimating the environmental impact. It is also helping in carrying out further more study and further more analysis. That is one significant thing which I want to highlight, right? So that is the reason I selected this particular topic, and I want to discuss some idea and some basic information with respect to the angle of social aspect, how the LCA can be adopted and implemented in social aspect. So that particular thing which I want to highlight in my presentation today. Again, I'll repeat. What is the reason behind I have selected this particular thing? Because many people are having the mindset, or many people are aware that LCA is used for carbon accounting and carbon estimation, and also comparison of the materials in terms of carbon, in terms of resource conservation, resource angle, and environmental impact. But other than this, there are many more things we can do with respect to the LCA. So one particular application which I want to highlight and which I want to share among all the participants today. So that is the reason I have selected this particular topic for today's expert talk. Fine. Then second, there are many aspects with respect to the LCA. And we in NICMAR University, everybody aware that NICMAR University is one of the only university in India exclusively for built environment. That is, we are the institute catering for construction, real estate, infrastructure, and project management. So our courses are aligning majorly towards construction related and project management related courses. We are not producing any experts or any bachelor or post graduation degree in terms of computer science or something else. All our courses are aligning towards construction, real estate, infrastructure and project management. Again, I can proudly tell that we are the only institute in India exclusively for built environment. Fine. So I think many of you are aware about our institute. Just to show some glimpses of our institute, I will share some of our salient features. Yeah. So we, Nikmar University, we are one of the top ranked institute. Ranked means in terms of reputation in the market. Reputation in the market, and we are 40 years of excellence and frontiers to embrace the industry trends. And our institute is supported by many industry conglomerates, many people who are top giants in the construction market. They are the directors of our institute. And our main priority is to skill development, to make the people, make the students or make the different level of stakeholders equipping themselves so that they can, if they go to the market, if they go to the any company or any organization, they must be in a position to take up the task and do the task individually without the support of any other thing. So that is one of the significant objective and significant motto our institute was created, and we are for the past 40 years we are in this particular sector and we are catering to this sector. And in our school of energy and environment, it was recently established school. For the past 4 years we had one batch, first batch passed out, and 100% placement we have achieved. And this particular school, we had two programs, MBA in Environmental Sustainability and MBA in Sustainable Energy Management. And our strong connect with respect to the industry is a great support for us in delivering different types of pedagogy to our students. Then another significant thing is we are not only conducting the sessions as per our regular pattern of execution or pattern of practice, we are adopting different types of pedagogy where we are integrating IKS, we are integrating NEP, we are integrating different types of skill development which is required for the present day market. For your information, recently in the month of April first week, we organized a workshop, 3 days life cycle assessment workshop. People from all over the India, from different institutions, NIT Warangal, NIT Surathkal, and many people from Kerala Agricultural University participated, and they got trained in the life cycle assessment. Like this, we are conducting regular courses exclusively for skill development. So with this, I'm going to the next important aspect. Let us come to the main talk of the today's discussion. Our main talk in today's discussion is beyond carbon, how LCA can help in integrating the circular economy in terms of social angle, how that is possible, that we are going to discuss in our forthcoming discussion. So now the time is 1:15. So that session will continue up to 2:30. So any doubt, any clarification, you can put it in the chat box. And after the discussion over, we can have some question answer session. So there I can help you in clarifying your doubt. And we are, again, I can claim and I can proud that I can tell we are one of the institute where we are having a unique kind of courses pertaining to sustainability. So that is one of the significant thing which I want to highlight. Yeah. So now, what is the reason I already highlighted this particular thing? I want to stress upon this particular thing. Why this life cycle assessment is important? Why this circular economy is important? Why this carbon thinking is important? That I want to highlight by this particular slide. So let us listen to the video. What is our Prime Minister's commitments and what is his vision? What is his intention to achieve the carbon neutrality? We will hear the video and then we will go to the discussion.
और से इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए 5 अमृत तत्व रखना चाहता हूं। पर इस वैश्विक मंथन के बीच मैं भारत की ओर से इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए 5 अमृत तत्व रखना चाहता हूं। पंचामृत की सौगात देना चाहता हूं। पहला, भारत 2030 तक अपनी नॉन फोसिल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी को 500 गीगावाट तक पहुंचाएगा। दूसरा, भारत 2030 तक अपनी 50% एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी से पूरी करेगा। तीसरा, भारत अब से लेकर 2030 तक के कुल प्रोजेक्टेड कार्बन एमिशन में 1 बिलियन टन की कमी करेगा। चौथा, 2030 तक भारत अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की कार्बन इंटेंसिटी को 45% से भी कम करेगा। और पांचवा, वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा। ये पंचामृत क्लाइमेट एक्शन में भारत का एक अभूतपूर्व योगदान होंगे। फ्रेंड्स, ये सच्चाई हम सभी जानते हैं कि क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस को लेकर आज तक किए गए वायदे खोखले ही साबित हुए हैं। जब हम सभी क्लाइमेट एक्शन पर अपने एम्बिशन बढ़ा रहे हैं, तब क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस पर विश्व के एम्बिशन वही नहीं रह सकते जो पेरिस एग्रीमेंट के समय थे। आज जब भारत ने एक नए कमिटमेंट और एक नई ऊर्जा के साथ आगे बढ़ने का संकल्प लिया है, तो ऐसे समय में क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस और लो कॉस्ट क्लाइमेट टेक्नोलॉजी का ट्रांसफर और महत्वपूर्ण हो जाता है। भारत की अपेक्षा है कि विकसित देश जल्द से जल्द $1 ट्रिलियन का क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस उपलब्ध कराए।
Yeah. So that is our goal, and our Prime Minister's intention is to transform our India under Panchamrit, that is carbon neutrality, carbon reduction, carbon finance. These are all some of the important things which needs to be implemented and which needs to be enforced and which needs to be followed at all levels. So how that particular video is connected to our discussion? The particular video is connected to our discussion in terms of when you want to achieve all these things, it is necessary that we have to make our data inventory, we have to make our system foolproof, we have to make our system we have to complete data inventory must be there, and our product and our material, what we are producing, must clearly depict what is the constituents of the product, what involved in that product, and how the product is manufactured, and what is the impact happen when you discard the product. All these aspects needs to be clearly depicted in the product, and it must be known to each and every stakeholders. So that is one of the significant thing. So that is possible by the tool life cycle assessment. And the term circular economy is one of the strategy which will help to make the life cycle assessment, which will help to make the process of carbon neutrality much effective. In any sector, in any activity, circular economy is the thing which will help to achieve the resource conservation, which will help to reduce the waste reaching to the landfill, and it also helps in indirectly achieving the carbon neutrality. So that is why our objective and our intention, and even if the government taken up the pledge, if the government taken up the initiative, the government only works, we can't achieve the goal. So that is why the Prime Minister is pointing out each and every individual, we have to take up the pledge. Each and every activity, what we are carrying out, what we are doing in our day-to-day activity, we have to see how we can sustain the things and how we can balance the three pillars. The very important thing is balancing of the three pillars is very, very important. In any sector, in any business, in any thing, the balancing of the three pillars are not happening. When some product is manufactured, means the product manufacturer intention is to make more profit. When something is getting free of cost, means our intention of the people to consume more. For example, you take the water. Water, we are not paying anything. Huge sum of money or huge sum of amount, we are not paying for water in the present day. But in future, when we utilize the resources in this particular way, that the amount we have to pay for the water will be a huge amount we have to pay for the water in future. So the people must realize, and they have to see how that resource can be managed in a sustainable manner. Then another important aspect, whatever the things, as he has pointed out, the Panchamrit plan, we must also think about Panchaputas. Our Panchaputas needs to be preserved. Whatever the business, whatever the measures, whatever the product, whatever the, whether it is an educational institution, whether it is a manufacturing unit, whether it is a data warehouse unit, whatever may be the thing, it is important that by that initiative, how people get benefited, how without causing any kind of impact to the environment, how the profit can be made, how sustained way of business can be possible. So that is one of the significant thing which we have to kept in our mind. That is why the three pillars of triple bottom line or three pillars of sustainability is people, planet, profit. But in the present day scenario, the profit is dominating and planet is not at all considered in any of the cases. So our intention and our objective, any entrepreneur, any business person, they have to keep it in mind, people, planet and profit, these three P's, and these three P's must be taken care, and they have to address what are the grievances the people are facing, what are the difficulties the people are facing, how the difficulties can be addressed, and how the difficulties can be addressed without causing any kind of impact to the planet. Parallelly, without profit, you can't do the thing. The profit must be in such a manner that it should not be of 10 times or 20 times or 100 times profit. It must be sustained way of how the business can be sustained for longer period. In that particular angle, the profit must be planned. The profit percentage must be planned. So that is one of the significant thing which I want to highlight. The triple bottom line is a business concept that states firms should commit to measuring their social and environmental impact in addition to their financial performance. So that is the reason the government come up with integrating the triple bottom line with the finance. Nowadays, hope you might be aware, BRSR, SEBI has introduced the BRSR concept, and ESG, everybody, this is another significant thing everybody knows. So, to make the three P's of the sustainability, that triple bottom line is a business concept. How this triple bottom line business concept, 3 P's, can be maintained sustainably is the objective, is the main goal which each and every entrepreneurs must take it up, must see how it can be executable. If that is possible, then the commitment towards Vikshit Bharat, the commitment towards net zero can be easily achievable. It is not a difficult job. So some of the method or some of the tools which can be used for achieving all these things are life cycle assessment is one of the way. Circular economy is another one way how that can be possible. Let us go to the next important thing. Right. So 3 P's I already highlighted in the previous thing. Then 3 pillars. These 3 pillars are connected with respect to the 3 P's. One is environmental sustainability. Second is economic sustainability. And third is social sustainability. When you look into these 3 pillars, environmental sustainability and economic sustainability, the awareness level towards this particular 2 pillars are little bit high comparing to the social sustainability. Because that social sustainability awareness is not happening, especially country like India. The awareness level towards the social sustainability is not up to the mark. Even if you take the research, many research is happening with respect to environmental sustainability, with respect to economic sustainability. But when you talk about social sustainability, the amount of research happening is very, very minimum. Again, that is the reason government introduced in the recent days, in the recent years, they have allocated a separate huge amount of fund to emphasize, to project out, to make the people to concentrate more on social aspect. They have established a separate funding division, ICSSR. So there all the projects are funded with respect to social related activities. So again, in that particular angle, our focus, my presentation, today's discussion will be highlighting more towards the social sustainability aspect, because I already told beyond carbon, there are many research findings are existing in the market. Many publications are available in the market with respect to carbon neutrality, with respect to how LCA can be used for estimating the carbon, how LCA can be used for assessing the impact, but there are very minimum research is happening with respect to the social aspect. So that is why I have taken up this particular topic, social lens, how life cycle assessment can be applied in social lens. That is the main thing which we are going to take up in today's discussion. Right. Why social LCA? What is the reason behind it? And even I already told you, there are many research is happening, but especially in the social life cycle assessment, amount of research is very, very minimum. Why social LCA? Social LCA is significant because understanding the impact of human impact communities and the consumers, if you are purchasing some product, if you are engaged in some activity, what kind of impact you are facing. If you are purchasing some product, what kind of impact that product is causing to you. This aspect needs to be explored. So that is one of the, anyhow, I am going to give you some examples in the forthcoming slide, which will give you some insight about this particular aspect. So the very important thing is there are many policies, there are many guidelines are existing, but still social equity and justice is not happening at all the situation or all the levels. There are any states you take, any country you take, still there are lot of imbalance. Gender equality is not happening, and there is a lot of imbalance, and there is no fair wages are given to the workers. The workers are treated in a different manners. The workers are not given proper accommodation. There are many aspects we can take up in this particular aspect. The social life cycle assessment highlights disparities in working conditions, wages, and opportunities, aiding in the pursuit of fair and just outcomes. And another significant thing is, as I already told you, stakeholder engagement. That is, you are purchasing some product, that product, how that product helps for the stakeholder, or how that product is impacting the stakeholder. That is, by considering the social impact, businesses can engage with stakeholders more effectively. So by this initiative, we can take up the feedback and we can correct our product, we can produce a product much better way. That is another significant thing which the social life cycle assessment play a significant aspect. Then how to improve the trust among the people, the trust among the different stakeholders, how it can be improvised. Then complementing environmental and economic assessment. Social life cycle assessment provides a more comprehensive view of sustainability, complementing traditional environmental and economic assessment. So that is also possible by means of social life cycle assessment. See, you may be having another one doubt, how this circular economy is getting into this picture. As I already told, circular economy is one of the strategy which will be helpful for achieving many targets, for achieving many benefits in the case of sustainability. So that is why the circular economy is integrated with this social angle. When you integrate the circular economy in any product manufacturing, automatically many aspects of social impact can be overcome. Many aspects of social impact can be overcome. So that is one of the significant things. Hope everyone aware about circular economy. I don't want to explain what is circular economy, how the circular economy is happening and other things, because that is another one big area where we can discuss for several hours. Fine. What is the scope of social life cycle assessment? Product life cycle stages. So it can be used raw material extraction, impact on indigenous communities, land use and resource depletion, manufacturing, worker condition. These are all the things where social life cycle assessment can be playing a significant role and can be used. And distribution, effect on local communities, transportation emissions, use, consumer health and safety, product accessibility, end of life, recycling opportunity, waste management, impact on waste pickers. So in all these cases, it is possible by adopting many strategies like circular economy, we can try to assess the social life cycle assessment, and we can see how that can be, how the three pillars of sustainability, especially social sustainability, can be improvised. Then what we can do, that we are going to discuss in the forthcoming slide. impact on workers, impact on local communities, impact on consumers, impact on society at a large. So what is the methodology? Methodology, whenever we are carrying out, whenever we are trying to do something, we need some reference. Without reference, if you do the activity, means either the activity will fail or the activity will not get any kind of recognition. So it is mandatory that we have to follow certain framework or references. So what is the reference? United Nations Environmental Program, Society of Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry guidelines, internationally recognized guidelines for conducting social life cycle assessment. So this is one of the significant reference which you can use it for social life cycle assessment. And ISO 14040 series, ISO standards for LCA also include provisions for social aspect, ISO 14044. These two I can suggest people who want to do social life cycle assessment can use these two guidelines or these two reference document as a base for carrying out the assessment. So what are the steps? How to do it? Again, here for understanding about this particular slide in depth, the people must have the clarity with respect to the life cycle assessment. If you have the clarity about life cycle assessment, then it is easy for you to understand about this particular slide, because this slide is the base. Any life cycle assessment, whether it is a social life cycle assessment, whether it is a product life cycle assessment, whether it is any kind of life cycle assessment, any kind of process what you are doing, these steps are base. These key steps are base. These key steps must be adopted and you have to be clear with these key steps. If you are not clear with these key steps, then whatever you are doing with the life cycle assessment, whatever you are executing in the life cycle assessment will be a failure or will not help you to produce fruitful output, will not help you to give clear output. So again, I'll repeat, this particular slide is very important for the researchers, for the academicians, for the different stakeholders who are interested to carry out some studies pertaining to the life cycle assessment. Okay. So what is this? First important thing is goal and scope definition. So it is important that what is your intention? What is your interest? What is your interest and what you want to do? That you have to be clear. Anything, whether you are product manufacturing, whether you are doing some kind of social assessment, whether you are going to do some kind of research, you have to be clear what is your goal and what is your scope. The same similar way, you have to be clear what is your objective. Clearly define the objective. Again, I'll give you a simple example. Here, I am pointing out the goal. That means you are going to use the LCA. So, in that goal, you have to be clear. You are going to use the LCA for what purpose? Whether you are going to use the LCA for reducing the carbon emission, whether you are going to use the LCA for reducing the environmental impact, whether you are going to use the LCA for increasing the profit, whether you are going to use the LCA for assessing the social impact, whether you are going to use the LCA for reducing the raw material consumption or raw material usage in the manufacturing of the product, that you have to be clear. Again, I'll repeat, any kind of activity or any kind of product, this particular aspect must be clear. For what purpose? Whether you are manufacturing your phone means what purpose of the phone, who will be the target audience, and what is the end of life period of the phone. So certain aspect you have to be clear and it must be defined. That is why the goal and scope definition is very important. Again, in this aspect, there are certain models. That is, certain models means in the life cycle assessment, hope everybody who are working in this area, who are working in the life cycle assessment, they may be aware. There are certain things like cradle to cradle, cradle to grave, cradle to gate, right? So that defines what is your interest, whether your product, whether your study is going to restrict only with respect to your company, starting from manufacturing to delivery, or starting from mining to delivery, or starting from mining to disposal of the product again once the product achieves the end of life. So that you have to be clear. So that is why the goal and scope definition must be clearly defined. Again, there is no compulsion that you have to choose always cradle to cradle. You have to choose always cradle to grave. You have to make sure that whichever is feasible, whichever is executable, whichever is implementable at your level, at your stage, at your company's limit, that you can choose it. Then step by step, you can have the vision, you can have the mission, how my company can achieve net zero water, how my company can achieve carbon neutrality. Like this, you can keep your target for the future initiatives. So that is why the goal and scope definition plays a significant thing. Clearly define the objective and boundaries of the study. Then once this first aspect, goal and scope definition is clear, then you can go for life cycle inventory. So that plays a significant thing. So life cycle inventory is the thing which will define about the product goal, which will define about the product goal. That is, collecting the data on, here I am putting the word social aspect because I am talking about social LCA. In case normal life cycle assessment means collecting the data pertaining to that particular objective. Here my objective is social life cycle assessment. So I am putting the word social aspect throughout the life cycle. Then you have to collect what is the duration of the workers' working hours, what is the type of workers engaged, what is the gender of the workers, what is the age of the workers. Like this, you have to list out certain aspect and you have to collect all the data. If you are doing this life cycle inventory in terms of carbon means, then you have to estimate the carbon emission inventory data. Any product, what is the amount of emission inventory data? So that is the thing which you have to estimate. Either you can collect the data or you can manufacture, while doing the manufacturing of the product, you can note down the data by means of experiment, by means of analysis, or you can also take the data from the secondary sources, right? So you have to be clear how to collect the data. Collecting data on social aspect throughout the life cycle. So here again I am repeating, I am putting the word social because my discussion today is in terms of social angle. But you can restrict yourself with respect to what particular aspect you are collecting the data. And the first and second steps having lot of interconnection. If your goal is not proper, your second step also will not be proper. Your goal is not proper, your goal and scope is not proper, you are not clear with your goal and scope, the second step will not be proper. Then if your second step is not proper, then the outcome what you are trying to produce will not deliver any kind of effective outcome. It will produce the outcome, but it won't be that much impressive outcome, or it won't be that much effective outcome. So the first two steps are very, very important. Then third, life cycle impact assessment. Then once the first and second step is done, then you can use the tools. There are many tools available for life cycle assessment. And by means of the tools, you can estimate, you can analyze, you can find out how that impact is happening, how the social impact is happening by means of the indicators. Then you have to interpret. How to interpret? For interpreting the thing, we have to use the reference document. So what is the reference document? I already told you, right? United Nations Environmental Program, ILO, that is International Labour Organization. Like this, there are many reference documents are available, which talks about how many hours the workers are allowed to work, how to choose the workers, what type of workers you have to engage for that activity. All the things are clearly given. So the reference document is the thing which will help you to compare your output with respect to the standards. And then once you compare the output with respect to the standards, then you have to go for interpretation. The interpretation is the thing which will help you to decide whether your social aspect is properly taken care or not. If you are carrying out the interpretation in terms of carbon angle, then you can tell whether the carbon emission impact is less or more, how much amount of carbon emission contributed by the product. Again, all these aspects are interconnected. All these aspects are interconnected. That is why you can see now in this picture, that I have put in two-side arrow mark. Why I have put two-side arrow mark? Because all are interconnected. That is, if your goal and scope is not proper, your interpretation will not be proper. Your goal and scope is not proper, your inventory analysis will not be proper. Your goal and scope is not proper, then impact assessment will not be proper. So the first step, second step, third step and fourth step, all are interconnected. So this is the base. This is the foundation. Any LCA, any measure, any step with respect to the life cycle assessment, you have to follow this 4 steps. Goal and scope definition, life cycle inventory, life cycle impact assessment, then interpretation. Right? Interpretation is the thing which decide what purpose you are doing this life cycle assessment. Interpretation means in terms of business, improving your business, or in terms of reducing your raw materials, or in terms of showcasing your product in terms of the social angle. That is, you are not using any kind of improper way of labors, all the things. So that is why what is the purpose of doing the LCA, that must be reflecting in the interpretation of the things. Fine. So let us come to some examples of social LCA categories. So what is the thing? Child labor, women and men, facilities. Comparison of labor standard across different stages of a product life cycle. Again, in this particular aspect, I want to ask all the participants, there are many kind of social issues are happening around yourself. Each and every state facing lot of social issues. But many of the social issues are not well addressed. Well addressed. That is why I told you in the beginning, there are many researches happening in terms of environmental impact, environment, in terms of climate impact, in terms of carbon emission, all the things. But social angle, still we are lagging. Still our country is lagging. The real example and real case study is recently in Tamil Nadu, fire accident happened in Sivagasi, Virudhunagar district. Around 25 people lost their lives. This is not the incident happening. This is not the accident happening only this year. If you take up the cases of fire accident, especially in Virudhunagar district, Sivagasi, in the past 1 year alone, how many accidents happen? In the past 3-4 years alone, how many accidents happen? Why it is happening? What is the reason behind that? That can be assessed, that can be analyzed, that can be explored by means of this social life cycle assessment. This is a simple, I am giving you the problem. In a similar way, you can choose any of the problem, but you can find out the output. Again, I will be highlighting some of the limitations in my forthcoming slide. So just like that, selecting the problem and getting the output is not that much easy. There are several many setbacks will happen. It is the capability, the person's expertise who are doing out the social life cycle assessment. He must be in a position to see how the data can be properly procured, how the life cycle assessment can be effectively done, and he has to ensure that fairness in the process. While doing the assessment, there must be fairness in the process. Right. So, comparison of labor standard across different stages of product life cycle. So, comparison of different labor standards across different stages of product life cycle, and also how that product life cycle, how that particular product manufacturing, the labor standards, labor get impacted in terms of health, in terms of well-being, all the things can be assessed by means of this social life cycle assessment. So let us see some of the examples. Next, it also helps in health safety. That's why I told Sivagasi example. Occupational illness, habitat destruction, and drinking water, and also exposure to hazardous chemicals. Exposure to hazardous chemicals in textile dyeing process. Like this, we can take up any kind of examples for carrying out the social life cycle assessment. Then community impact, how that again, that is why I have given the problem of that fire accident. In all these 3 categories, that is categories in terms of impact on human rights, categories in terms of health and safety, categories in terms of community impact, in all the cases, in all the things, the problem what I have highlighted is best suitable and best fit in all these things. So like this, there are many kind of issues, there are many kind of complicated things happening in different states, in different cities, in different places of our country. But not all the problems are viewed by the people. Not all the problems are taken up by the government for finding the solution. Only certain cases and certain problems are taken up by the government for finding the solution. Many of the things are not attended, not noticed, not viewed properly. So that is the reason the Sivagasi fire accident, it is a continuous things. Now, let us go to the next important thing, categories of impact. So, again, these categories of impact are not the standard things. It can be a sample. If you are going to assess the social impact of the workers, then you have to take up these things: freedom of association, child labor, fair salary, working hours, forced labors, equal opportunity, health and safety, and discrimination. If you want to focus, your goal is to look into the workers, then you can choose like this. If your goal is to look into the value chain actions and other things means, then you can go for this capacity for job creation, local employment. Then consumers. Consumers means consumers' privacy. And then next important thing is local community. When you talk about the local community, how the local community respect of indigenous rights and their land use, cultural heritage, safe living condition, community engagement, human health, public commitment, and technology development. Again, there are many big projects where we are not taking care of the local community. For example, there are many dams, many reservoirs, many infrastructure projects are coming up. We never bothered about the local community. Our intention is the development. And we are give some compensation to the local community so that they will be keep quiet. But when you want to assess the impact, then it is necessary that we have to use social life cycle assessment. These kind of studies needs to be carried out to understand what is the impact the local community is faced. So the life cycle assessment, social LCA can also be integrated with environmental impact assessment. When you are doing the environmental impact assessment for a infrastructure project, for a dam construction, for a big thermal power plant construction, for a big hydroelectric power plant construction, then in such kind of situation, you can carry out social life cycle assessment and you can see how the different level of impact happening to the local community. And then based on the impact analysis, you can propose the solution. You can propose the mitigation measures and you can also propose the management measures. Right. Then categories of impact. The impact categories are, again, I am taking only the few stakeholder group: workers, consumers, local community, society, and other value chain sectors. Then impact category: freedom of association and collective bargaining, child labor, fair salary, working hours, all these things what we discussed in the previous slide. Apart from this, there are some more things I have added in this particular thing. Right. So how to do this? I already told you in the previous slide. The 4 steps: goal and scope, inventory, impact assessment, interpretation. These 4 are basic foundation. If you are not selecting this 4 properly, then entire process will be a failure. So that is why your process of 4 steps, the 4 foundation steps must be properly selected. So how to do that? The first thing is product or organization. Which product organization? Goal and scope. That is the thing I told. Goal and scope. There you will decide whether it is a cradle to cradle, cradle to gate, or cradle to grave. You have to decide. So what is the purpose? Goal and scope. Then type 1, which stakeholder? Whether you are going to do it for workers, whether you are going to do it for the consumers, whether you are going to do it for other things. Then That needs to be clearly defined. Then accordingly, you have to decide what are the data required. You have to collect the data. How to collect the data, that is in your hand. If you want to get more accuracy, you have to go for primary data. If you are doing it for understanding the basics, that is overview, then you can depend on the secondary data. But to give you a clear outcome, my suggestion is go for primary data. So primary data means, again the question will come, how to collect the primary data? That also you have to be clear. What is the procedure? How to collect the primary data? Then next, impact assessment. With respect to the impact assessment, you have to decide what type of impact. Already I told you in the previous slide, there are many impact. What type of impact you are going to assess? And then with respect to that particular impact, you have to provide the interpretation. In all the cases, interpretation, impact assessment, all the things you have to keep the reference document in hand. Without reference document, your interpretation will be a failure. So all the things you need to keep reference document in hand. Fine? Okay. So let us go to the next thing. So what is social LCA used for? Informing decision making in product development and establishing material supply chain. Comparison of different options for products and services. Comparison and benchmarking of suppliers as a basis for certification and labeling, as input to corporate sustainability reporting, marketing and communication, and furthermore, there are many other purposes. Right. So up to this, any doubt? Next, I am going to take up the case study. Up to this, any doubt? Hello?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Do the evacuation of people in the project area comes under this social LCA LCA study?
No, evacuation of people in terms of what? Again, what is
evacuation of people in terms of
See,
you are going to install a project. You need land. You will evacuate the residential area. So in that case, will that need to be analyzed?
Again, what type of impact you are going to analyze? You are going to concentrate only on how many people you are going to evacuate. That for that we can easily carry out by means of manual map. Not necessary to go for this. When you want to find out what type of people and how that people will get impacted, then you can go for this. Hope you understand what I am telling.
I just need a clarity. I wish to ask you is once you do an evacuation, of course, people affected will be in the will have to suffer a lot.
Yes.
Social side and the financial side.
Exactly. So in that particular thing, in that particular aspect, first of all, you have to you have to do the social cost benefit analysis. You have to carry out social risk assessment. You have to carry out social life cycle assessment. And by means of social life cycle assessment, you will be incorporating these two data. Which two data? The risk assessment data and also this first thing. That data also you will use in this social life cycle assessment. And by incorporating this particular thing in social life cycle assessment, you can give proper compensation and proper welfare measures or proper way of rehabilitation you can provide. That is possible. But you have to clearly define the goal and scope. If your goal and scope is not defined, then it won't be effective. You got the thing?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. So any other question? Yeah, let us go to the case study. So in this case study, a cotton t-shirt, this cotton t-shirt, assuming that the cotton t-shirt is manufactured, that is, it is cotton grown in Australia, and the manufacturer, the weaving to cloth and t-shirt production is happening in Bangladesh, and the transport to Europe by shipping under Panamanian jurisdiction and sold and used over 3 years in Switzerland and sent to Kenya at the end of first life. Sent to Kenya at the end of first life. So these are all the stories of the cotton t-shirt. So you have to be clear what is the story of the cotton t-shirt, and next we are going to see what you are going to assess in this. What you are going to assess in this. If you are going to do in terms of carbon emission of this cotton t-shirt manufacturing, then you can collect in terms of the data inventory with respect to the carbon emission aspect. If you are going to estimate water related data, that is how much amount of water required for this cotton t-shirt manufacturing, then you have to collect the data pertaining to the water, how they are using the water, how much amount of water they have used, how many t-shirt they are manufacturing per day, per month, how many t-shirt they are manufacturing. If you are going to estimate in terms of electricity, then you have to collect that particular data. So here in our case, we are going to assess the social impact. So that's why we are not going to look into that particular aspect. That is general LCA. That particular LCA is common. Everybody, many of the things are, many of the organizations, they are doing it. But our focus in this particular case is social life cycle assessment. So what I am going to do it here, as I already told in the previous slide, when we are doing the social LCA, we have to understand who are all the stakeholders, right? As one of the participants also asked the question, your stakeholder must be worker or general public, the people who are going to evacuated, what type of people are, whether the people are the general public or they are of some other type, whether the people are tribal people or secular people, all these things must be clearly defined. That is, stakeholder group must be clearly defined. Then you have to look into the impact. What type of impact? So here I have listed out few impact. In a similar way, in your case, you have to define the impact. You have to categorize the impact, not define, categorize the impact. And then once after categorizing the impact, for example, let us come to the t-shirt. So here the hotspot analysis with the threshold set at 10% flags, 17 potential impact category that merit further exploration. I'll repeat again. Hotspot analysis is threshold set at 10% flags, 17 potential impact category that merit further exploration. So where the t-shirt is, the cotton is grown in Australia, but the t-shirt is manufactured in Bangladesh. So Australian society is flagged because of its high ecological footprint. High ecological footprint. Again, in the case of high ecological footprint, the important thing is high ecological footprint, working conditions in the Bangladesh where the t-shirt is manufactured includes use of child labor, use of low wages, long working hours, and public health provision is not properly maintained. The bottom 10% of those of all nations. So working condition in Panama and Kenya are flagged, where high unemployment and political instability are also concerning. So the data sources for each of these impact can be assessed from the header of the column in the Excel spreadsheet. You can see here, this is the thing. So you can estimate that social hotspot summary table of the t-shirt with threshold set as 10%. So what are the things? Nation. So Australia, Bangladesh, Panama, and then Kenya, and then Switzerland. So workers, so Bangladesh, consumers, local community, and then here. So you can see the hotspot are pointed out. The social hotspots summary figure 11 shows a number of clusters among the stakeholder groups. Workers and local communities are most at risk. And two life spaces, that is two life phases, manufacture and end of life. So this is the manufacturing and end of life. Both involving developing nations account for almost all the flags. And these would disappear if, for instance, Australia both produced the cotton and made the t-shirt, but with likely economic penalties, and if the t-shirts were recycled in the same nation in which it is used, Switzerland, this move from developing to the developed nation, however, ignores potential hardship caused by loss of jobs in Bangladesh and Kenya, where high unemployment is flagged as a hotspot. So what is the thing you have observed from this? So the high ecological footprint is flagged because the laborers are not properly given compensation. The laborers are ill treated. Many child laborers are employed. And in Kenya, there are a lot of unemployment happening. So the used materials are used by the underdeveloped country for their purposes. So in all these things, the ecological footprint, that impact happening towards the particular thing is increasing. So if you take any kind of problem like this, and if you do the hotspot analysis, then you can understand how much impact that particular thing is happening. And you can also categorize. Workers means I have taken only a general thing. In the worker category, you can categorize how many child laborers, how many women, how many men, all these things you can categorize. And you can also bring that into the data set. Then by this, developing to developed nation, potential hardship caused by the loss of job. So you can suggest, okay, the Australia needs to change the system. The Australia manufacture the t-shirt in their country and they have to use their t-shirt which is manufactured for their people, or it can be exported to Switzerland. Then what will happen? In Bangladesh, there is a huge amount of unemployment, and Kenya also. So what is the solution for that? So it will further trigger some other problem. So you have to be clear and you have to make sure that the assessment will give you proper output in terms of certain benefit and how it will help in overcoming the problem without creating some other problem. That you have to be clear. That can be possible by means of integrating the circular economy with respect to the particular technique. Then that can be possible. So again, this is one of the simple example how the cotton t-shirt, it is grown in Australia, manufactured and weaved to the cloth and t-shirt production in Bangladesh, and transported to Europe by shipping under the thing, and sold and used over 3 years in Switzerland. But what is the thing is, one particular stage it is perfect. There is no kind of impact. But in another stages, there is a huge amount of impact that was identified, that was projected by means of this kind of social life cycle assessment. That is the thing which I want to highlight by this thing. Then mapping of the impact category. So you can see here, then you can stakeholder group, workers group, impact category, freedom of association, child labor, forced labor, fair salary, working hours, equal opportunity, health and safety, social security benefit. Mapped to the data sources. There are many kind of data sources which you can use, and that data sources you can map. So fatal accident at work, women share at workforce, then hours worked per year. So these are all the things. Then consumers group, same, you have to impact category and mapped to the data sources, local community group, society and other value chain actions. So like this, you have to first identify the hotspots. After doing the hotspot analysis, you have to go for mapping of the impact category. Once after mapping the impact category, then you have to go for the integration with the business strategy. That is interpretation. Embedding social LCA in decision making, embedding social LCA in sustainable supply chain management, embedding social LCA in corporate sustainability, embedding social LCA in reporting and transparency. In all these stages, you can use the social LCA, right? But the output what you are getting, the efficiency of the output what you are getting is purely depending on the data what you are feeding. If your data is not proper, the output will not be effective or proper, right? Then what are the challenges, especially in the social life cycle assessment? The major challenge is data availability and quality and methodological consistency, because in Bangladesh itself, place to place, the things will vary. In Dhaka, it will be different. In some other place, it will be different. So place to place, it will vary. So methodological consistency playing a significant aspect. And these are all the major challenges which makes the social life cycle assessment much challenging. Then future direction, data availability and quality, we have to find a way how the data availability. These are all some of the sources of data, secondary data, interviews, surveys, documents, focus group, observation, then remote sensing and GIS, then other website. Then methodological consistency, you can see here this kind of mapping which will help you to identify the methodological consistency. So there are multiple things, not one particular thing. So you can see here detailed methods are not clear, single social issues, multiple social issues, coverage of the social issues are not well addressed, then type of approach is not proper, and overview of the framework and the methods which is adopted for addressing all the issues are not clear. Like this, multiple things are mapped in this particular slide. So what are the benefits? So again, the major outcome, effective outcome can be possible only if the challenges are properly addressed. If the data is properly collected, then the challenges can be easily addressed. If the data source is not properly collected, the consistency of the data is not proper, then the complexity towards the outcome or towards the conclusion will be more complicated. That is why the data is very, very important. That is why people are not ready to take the social LCA in many of the cases. Then benefits, LCA considers the full life cycle of a product from extraction of raw material to the disposal of the product and end of its life. This prevents companies from reducing their environmental impact, carbon impact, that is carbon emission, how the carbon reduction can be possible, how the greenhouse gas reduction can be possible, how the resource conservation can be possible, how the waste minimization can be possible. All these things can be possible by means of the life cycle assessment. And LCA can provide valuable environmental data which can be used to strengthen your company's sustainability credentials. So this will also help you to improve your company's product sustainability, improve your company's values, because the data what you have generated, that will act as a base. With the help of the data, you can see further how it can be improved. For example, this year you have generated the waste of around 100 tons. Then you can keep that as a benchmark and you can see in the next year how the waste reduction can be possible and bring down to 75 tons. Like this, it is possible to make the things by means of the life cycle assessment. And then it can also be used to strengthen your company's sustainability credential. It adds transparency to your brand value while building trust with your consumers and the stakeholders. For example, when you conduct the life cycle assessment, you can quantify your product or services carbon emission and other environmental impact and social impact. This can also help you to identify ways to improve the environmental performance. The results of the life cycle assessment can also give you concrete numbers of your environmental attributes. In other way, you can only tell in terms of statements, but here you can exactly quantify, that is exactly tell how much impact, what level of impact, what contributes to the major impact. All these things you can clearly define. So that is why even in the social LCA, what we have seen in this example, here I have categorized different types of impact. But mapping of the data sources, you can see by means of this, how the child labor, which is predominating, whether child labor is predominating, whether health and safety is predominating, whether working hours is predominating, that you can assess by means of this social life cycle assessment. And it will also help you to focus on the particular problem. If the child labor is a predominant problem, means predominant impact, means then you can find a way how the child labor can be eradicated. How the child labor can be eradicated. So that can be possible. Then, so these are all some of the benefits. There are multiple benefits. Life cycle assessment can also help you to overcome the greenwashing, identify the greenwashing, and also completely stop the greenwashing. And it will also make the consumers to get aware about the product. Any stakeholder, if they want to understand about the product, they can go for the life cycle assessment. That is also possible. And also, it will help to make your decision, that is, whatever the decision you are taking, the decision can be confidently, you can tell, yeah, this is the impact and this impact will leads to this kind of problem. Like this, you have to clearly quantify the environmental attributes and also environmental impact and also the social impact. That is possible by means of the life cycle assessment. So these are all some of the outcomes. So these things are available in the online. So you can download and you can go through this information, because I already pointed out in the beginning, I mentioned the word beyond because there are many findings and many research observation and research outcomes are published and established in the case of carbon aspect. So that is why even we have also published many research with respect to the carbon aspect. But we want to explore in terms of the social angle. So that is the main reason the social lens was taken for today's discussion. And whatever we discussed in the past 1 hour is only an overview. I have given only an overview with respect to the social life cycle assessment. So there are many things can be explored. There are many sectors where social LCA was not utilized, social LCA was not adopted and implemented. There are huge prospects and huge opportunity with respect to the social LCA. Yes. So this is another one paper. So you can also go through this paper, which will give you some more information with respect to the carbon aspect. And these are all some more research outcome with respect to the life cycle assessment. Yeah. So if you need further information, further details, you can connect to me. And any questions? So I think I have completed on time. Now it is open for questions.
ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പോ BSF
Now the floor is open for questions. Any questions?
Why are you talking to training? Sure.
Hello. So you can also put it in the chat box if you have any questions.
Participants, please ask if you have any doubts.
Do we need to do social LCA? You have mentioned about the manufacturing side. In the whole life cycle of the product, because during usage, during end disposal.
Yeah. So in many of the cases, the social LCA was not carried out. Even in that particular stage, if you do the social LCA, then you can understand whether your company is adopting and following the employment, all the workers are benefited, all the workers are happy, the workers are not impacted with any kind of impact. All these things can be assessed and all these things can be reported and all these things can be interpreted, which will help you to improve your company's or organizational value in terms of governance aspect, social and ESG. In terms of social and governance aspect, you can climb these points. But in many of the companies, they are not looking into it because they are using the product, they are using the LCA mainly for improving their business. How I can improve the business? Because European Union, they are insisting all the product they have to get the certification. And without certification, they are not allowing the company, allowing the organization to export the product to that particular country. And if somebody is insisting and if some of the nations or some of the country mandatory specify that they have to look into the social angle also, then it will come into effect. But many of the cases it is not happening. That is the reality. And even in terms of research, as I already pointed out, there are many difficulties in getting the data. Nowhere you can't get it. Data inventory is available in terms of other product LCA, but data inventory is very, very minimum. Secondary data source is very minimum with respect to the social LCA. So how you will do the social LCA? Whether if you want to understand how the chemical fertilizer and pesticide is impacting the agriculture and how that chemical fertilizer and pesticide is impacting the farmers' livelihood, farmers' health. So you need data. Where you will go for data? That is a major problem. Hello.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, we have some
Yes.
questions in the
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
box.
Sir, any set guidelines to be followed? Yes, it is necessary. It is necessary. The guidelines are to be followed. As I already told you, the guidelines you have to follow as per United Nations Environmental Program, or you have to follow, there are set of guidelines which are released by certain groups who are working on LCA. Either you have to follow that particular guidelines or you have to follow ISO. So ISO, there is a separate ISO guideline, ISO for LCA. So I already pointed out in my previous slide. So you can look into that particular thing. So that will give you the idea about. Yeah. So this is the thing, ISO 14040 series. So that will help you to understand about the what to be followed, what to be considered, how to collect the data. Everything was given there. Everything was given there. You can use this as a reference and you can define an SOP. You can create a policy framework and keeping that policy framework as a reference, and you can carry out the social LCA. Any other questions? Yes. Yes, but most of the thing mentioning that set up environmental management system. Environmental management system, again I am pointing out, in terms of social angle, very, very rare. Social angle means just a overview they are doing. They are not doing in depth. That is why I have shown you the case of t-shirt manufacturing. T-shirt manufacturing, they are producing the cotton in Australia and they are manufacturing the t-shirt in Bangladesh. How they are manufacturing the t-shirt? By means of employing the child labor and also engaging the workers with low wages, and they are doing it. Right? Then again, it is used by Switzerland. It is sent to European Union, exported to European Union and sent, that is Switzerland it was used, and then again it is transferred, that is shifted to end of life is happening in Kenya. So here in this case, two stages hotspots are observed in terms of social angle is at two stages. One is manufacturing stage and another is end of life stage. So when the company,
in case if the participants have any further doubts, you can directly contact.
When the company want to tell to the stakeholders, their process are clear, their process are not engaging any kind of child labors, their process are not engaging any kind of improper waging practice, then in that particular case, this kind of life cycle assessment will help you to establish that black and white to the stakeholders to improve the value of the organization and the company. Again, you have to set the goal. What is your whether cradle to grave, cradle to gate or cradle to cradle? That also must be clear. Right?
Thank you, sir. Now, if participants have any further doubt, they can ask it directly to Sudarshan sir or forward it to us, since we have to move on to our next session. That is the inaugural session.
So you can note down.
Let me, on behalf of everyone, sincerely take this opportunity to thank Sudarshan sir for a thought-provoking session beyond carbon, introducing LCA through circular economy and social lens. Your articulation of the triple line bottom, the environmental, economical, and social stability, reminds us that true progress balance all the three dimensions. We sincerely appreciate your effort to explain us to everything by means of a simple case study of a cotton shirt. How powerful the example has been, showing every product can carry complex and social environmental implication. Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and inspiring us to think more deeply about sustainability in practice.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam, for giving me this opportunity. I thank the management and also the head of the Department of Civil Engineering. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great opportunity to meet you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Good afternoon once again. I hope the previous session was insightful and engaging for all of us. As we continue with today's program, now we move on to the very significant segment, the formal inauguration of our FDP, Integrated Green Construction and Life Cycle Assessment, organized by Department of Civil Engineering, Jyothi Engineering College, Autonomous Thrissur, in association with Indian Concrete Institute, focuses on promoting sustainable and responsible practices in the field of construction. Now, let us begin the segment by invoking divine blessings. I request everyone to kindly join for a silent prayer. Thank you all. Now, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Alvin Verghese, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, to deliver the welcome address.
Yeah, very good afternoon to all. Respected dignitaries, honored chief guests, beloved management, esteemed faculty members, and dear participants. It gives me the most pleasure and pride to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each one of you to the Faculty Development Program on Integrated Green Construction and Life Cycle Assessment. This program, organized by the Department of Civil Engineering in association with Indian Concrete Institute, stands a meaningful step towards promoting sustainable practice in the field of construction and environmental management. In today's world, where is the need of sustainable development is most urgent than ever. Understanding the concepts like green construction and life cycle assessment is not just relevant, but it is essential for us. This FDP aims to provide a platform for knowledge sharing, innovation, and meaningful discussions that can shape a better and more responsible future. We are truly honored to have with us our esteemed chief guest, Professor Nitin Kumar Tripathi, who presents adds great value and inspiration to this occasion. His vast experience and contributions in the field of geoinformatics and environmental applications are a source of motivation for all of us. Also, I extended my respectful greetings to Reverend Father Dr. Jose Kanambra, Director Academics of our college, for this constant guidance and support. My sincere regards to our respected principal, Dr. P. Sojan Lal, for his encouragement and leadership. I would also like to acknowledge the dedication of the FDP coordinator, Mr. Alfred Jor and Ms. Jyothi Johnny, and entire team behind this initiative. And most importantly, a hearty welcome to all the participants who have joined for us and throughout the FDP. Your presence and enthusiasm make this program truly meaningful. Let us make the best of use of this opportunity to learn, explore, and grow together. Once again, I welcome you all and wish this FDP a grand success. Thank you and thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words. Next, I invite Reverend Father Dr. Jose Kanambra, Director Academics of Jyothi Engineering College, to deliver the presidential address.
Most respected chief guest of the day, Professor Nitin Kumar Tripathi, Director of SDP, Professor Remote Sensing and Geographic Information Systems, Asian Institute of Technology, Thailand. Most respected Principal Dr. P. Sojanlal, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, Dr. Alvin, other faculty members, and very resourceful and great resource persons, participants from various parts of India and even abroad. Very good afternoon to all of you. Today is a great day. We are connecting ourselves with a lot of people, around 300 registered participants, resource persons all over India and even from abroad. And this is a great opportunity for us also to interact with so many people of high repute and high visibility. Now, today we have the inauguration of this particular FDP on integrated green construction and life cycle assessment from IGBC practices to high impact research. IGBC, the Indian Green Building Council, we are giving focus on how every building, every construction and every activity is conforming to the sustainable development goals, 17 of them. We have to be careful. Whenever we do something, construct something, there is a positive aspect. But at the same time, we see that there are some negative things also happening along with it. That is quite natural. For every invention, for every new innovation, every new creation, this is reality. Today it is happening so. So we have to take care of the damages, perhaps without our own knowledge, that may happen to our environment and sustainability. That is a matter of real concern. So in building construction, this is a very important thing. Till recently, we were not much concerned about it, but now we are really bothered. Whenever we undertake any construction, we have to see that it is not doing any damage to the environment. Sustainability must be kept intact. The carbon emission must be controlled. So these are real concerns. Now, as you understand, these days, all of us, especially those who are in the technical field and even others, the laypersons also, are using AI tools in a very big way. And this is a very comfortable zone. We can make use of the tools and we can get solutions, answers for so many questions and queries of ours in everyday life, in science and technology and whatnot. But I was just investigating whether there is any damage done by this in the physical sustainability models. Yes. So I understand that for a normal query that we use or we making use of the Google search, that it may be consuming 0.03 whatever, that is the energy level. And if it is AI tool and that for a text query, the power for a typical question, the power that it may be using is 0.3 watts hour. Instead of 0.03 watts hour, now this is 0.3 watt hour, 10 times. Now suppose it is an image creation for the same thing, then the power consumed will be 2 to 4.5 watt hour. And if it is an AI video, the power consumed will be 6 to 9 watt hours. Because billions of operations are undertaken for this process of answering our queries. And thousands of GPUs are at work. If we are putting 1 billion AI questions, the power that it will consume is equal to the electricity that may be used by 35,000 USA households for one continuous year. See the amount of energy that is used. Of course, we are running short of energy, especially once a war is there. Again, the problem is more and more critical. That is one part. The requirement of energy is one part. But what about the impact that is done on the environment and sustainability of our universe? That is much worse. So we have to keep a balance. This we should keep in our mind very, very vitally, and we should go to address these issues. And the present area that we are discussing may be the constructions of buildings, roads, infrastructure, builders, and so on and so forth. There also we have to take care. So what I'm telling is that this is not confined to the construction area alone. Even in AI tool utilization, this is a vital and very important question that we have to address. So many times of the energy pack that we are using in the common Google search is used when we make use of AI tools. What is the impact it is going to create? The energy shortage, acute shortage on one side, and on the other side, the environmental impact on sustainability and the carbon emission. All these are a real important issue. So let us think about it very solidly. And for the today's FDP, our focus is confined to mostly in the construction area. So we shall really give attention to this fact. And whenever we go for any creativity, let us never forget about the sustainability of our earth, this globe. So we shall do wonderful things. So I wish you all the best. And this is a very wonderful opportunity to network with each other and to think and ponder about the possibilities and the potential areas of research we should make use of, so that the energy we utilize may be well apportioned, well given, and well utilized without badly impacting our environment in any way. So these days, we shall make use of it, we shall think about it, and we shall be answerable also. We should remember to the universe, to the nature, that every little portion of the energy that we are consuming or utilizing, we must be answerable. We should do some good to the humanity without damaging the environment and the sustainability of our world. Let it happen. Wish you all the best. Have a wonderful time from yesterday onwards till 25th or 24th. Let it take place in the very best way possible, and let the participants make use of it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father, for your inspiring message. Now comes the most awaited and significant moment of today's program. It is my honor to invite our distinguished dignitary for the inauguration, Professor Nitin Kumar Tripathi, sir. Professor Tripathi is a renowned professor in the field of remote sensing and geographic information system and a distinguished alumni of NIT Warangal. He holds a PhD from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and brings with him decades of rich experience in teaching, research, and international collaborations. His research expertise expands the application of geoinformatics in environment, agriculture, health, and disaster management, along with advanced work in wireless GIS and real-time spatial data systems. He has contributed extensively to reputed international journals and is a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the DAE Young Scientist Award and ASTE Career Award. He is also actively associated with leading professional bodies and serves as the editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Geoinformatics. We are truly privileged to have such an eminent personality with us today. Sir, I respectfully invite you to inaugurate the program and deliver the inaugural address. Sir, over to you.
Welcome, Tripathi ji, for this program.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Sojan Lalji. And I'm very, very thankful to you for inviting me to this very interesting program that you are organizing. And like this is the need of the hour, and to develop faculty or nurturing the nurtures that those who will teach their student is a best idea. And I think this should be continued, this kind of efforts. So this FDP is on integrated green construction and life cycle assessment. And the presidential address by Father Jose was really motivating, and he captured many important points. I'm here in Asian Institute of Technology for the last 25 years. And before that, I was in IIT Kanpur for 10 years as a faculty in civil engineering department. And I have been working in geoinformatics for all my life for research and teaching. So I would like to draw the attention of the all the faculty member, distinguished faculty member who are attending it, that this is the time of self-reliance. That's what our Prime Minister says, to make everything self-reliant. We have seen the energy crisis that we are going through, and I think during the Corona time also, we have realized that. So Earth is giving us like ultimatum, I will say, or triggers that you become self-reliant. And from where to become self-reliant is our habitat, where we are living. So I have done work on Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 11, about urban sustainability. I can say that in many cities in India, which are already facing the challenges about water, groundwater is going low, or when the rains are there, then they have severe floods, urban flood, and it affects not only life but also economy of the people, and all the operations of the city goes like suspended for days and weeks. So I think there is lot to be done. In this regard, I also want to attract the attention of the audience that in UK, a number of cities are becoming ghost towns. Like Plymouth, recently, 2 days back, it was in the news that Britain has given around 6 billion euros to make basic fundamental infrastructure there so that it can be livable again. In USA, Binghamton, where IBM was born, that has become like a ghost town. You go there, there are big, big buildings, very less people to live. So idea was to make a computer town, but it failed. And then Dartmouth in USA, it is called all like say junk uh, area where a lot of automobiles were being developed, but now very less people are living. And so sustainability is one thing, like we make few things and we never bother how it is going to sustain in the future. So here I want to bring one good news to you, that in AIT we had a plan to make AIT by 2030 zero carbon, and our efforts are playing very good dividends, and we have made 75% success already. So complete campus is having solar panels, and we are generating lot of electricity. Plus we are having a 3R concept. So all the waste is being collected and reused or recycled by some companies. So we are reducing the carbon that way. So we got the Green Gown Award in 2024 by UNEP and Alliance. So only two universities got. One is the Manchester City, and another is AIT. AIT in the small category of universities, and Manchester, the big university. So we got it because we have made sustainable research into this area, and we made efforts to make the campus green. And I will love that to invite all of you to come sometime to AIT and see how the water management is being done, how the solid waste disposal is being handled, and how the energy efficiency is there. So all our big halls, bathroom, everything have sensors, and if nobody is there, the power it will be shut down. Electricity, like lights, will be shut down. So automatic. We are trying to save the electricity. Now I have also done some research and published papers through my PhD students on livability city index. Certain part of the city are highly livable, certain parts are not, and certain parts can be made livable. So what are those factors? So I have done using analytical hierarchy process and also collecting around 25 factors which can contribute to the livability, and then made the models. And I have done work on two cities in India like Warangal and Vishakhapatnam, and one city in Thailand that is very near to AIT, Suphanburi. So whenever you have a chance, you can see those papers, and it is based on the people's perspective and expert advice that how to make a city livable. Now, I have also guided one student from Bahrain and about the green building. So we always think rooftop solar panels, but in Bahrain and other many cities, we have high-rise building. So why not we have solar panels all around the building? And even we can have in the areas where wind is very high, we can have revolving solar panels. So wind is generating energy as well as solar panels. So there are many concepts which are there. Only question is how to go forward and adopt it. So we can make like contributions to self-reliance in energy. Second is low carbon. So how to reduce the waste? That is one thing we have to teach to our people who are living, and how to collect the waste and how to dispose it off. So that is one thing we have to make a SOP on that one. I have done for Pune industrial area, and very nicely in a very low cost, we have developed a GIS toolkit for how to collect waste, how many minimum amount of say equipments and vehicles are needed, and how we can do the like collection and disposal. Third is green buildings. Every after every say 4 or 5 floors, we can have a green area in the building, and we can have like a park and restaurant where the people can walk around, people can sit down and have little oxygen. And these trees can also absorb oxygen from the city. So tall buildings are there; they are emitting lot of carbon and also other gases. So why not they should take responsibility to have several floors of green floors, and then they can contribute. And these kind of examples are many examples are there in Italy. So I have seen that one. I think these are the few things that I want to draw attention to. In addition to this, one very good research area is coming up, that is digital twins. I was in New Delhi in a Niti Aayog meeting once recently, I think 1 year back, organized by IIT Kanpur and Niti Aayog. So I was invited, and I was very happy to see that they are giving lot of emphasis on digital twins. So any city you are going to make, any township we are going to make, can we make digital twins using the concept of GIS, and then virtual reality, and also building information and management softwares and database. So once we have the digital twin of the cities or buildings or township, we can have a long-term sustainability plan for that. I think this workshop is very interesting, and life cycle assessment itself, people are learning, and I think this will go a long way. So with this, I will give a halt to my talk, and thank you once again to all the participants, and especially to Dr. Sojan Lal, who told me you must join. So today till now I had 4 presentations in AIT for PhD student. I attended that, and now I am with you, Dr. Sojan Lal, and with all the participants. Thank you very much.
I know that, sir, you are extremely busy, and that's why I said that
Yeah.
at least few minutes you can join with us. That was really great, sir. And you said about the revolving solar panel, which I never heard about, and also few concepts you introduced. And also, sir, is a possibility that we can send our internship students to AIT in case if they are ready to pay their travel cost, or if
Yes, I think that will be a good idea. Every year, almost 1,000+ students from India are coming to AIT. We organize from 6 days to 14 days, like innovation internship. And also now we have started 2 months capstone project. So we will talk about it, and we will try that Jyothi group of means college, engineering college will come to AIT, and we can work together.
so actually May 20th to June 30th, students have holidays and they can go for internship. That's a
Okay.
perfect time, sir.
Okay.
So,
Thank
and also maybe later on we'll work on some collaborative work. So that we'll discuss separately, sir. And we're extremely glad that a person of your caliber has come and joined with us. So thank you very much, sir.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I look forward to your visit also to AIT.
Yes, sir. We'll plan, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and inspiring address. Now I request Dr. P. Sojanlal, our respected principal, to share his valuable words.
Namaskar to all of you, and Nitin Tribadi sir, namaste, and to Reverend Father Dr. Jose Kanambra, our own academic director, dear all participants from various parts of India and abroad. First of all, I've seen that this FDP is Green Construction and Life Cycle Assessment is not only an academically relevant, but it's a globally urgent issue, where we mainly touch upon the construction for the sustainability, from short-time efficiency to life cycle thinking, from isolated design to a circular economy mindset. And also, I've noticed that the FDP in general is significant because it integrates the three critical dimensions. One is the green building practices, life cycle assessment, and the research and publications. As we align with the NBA requirement and IKS integration and global sustainability goals. So first of all, my appreciation to each and every one of you joined, and also I appreciate the organizers behind this. And also I believe that these things can move further. And also from the talks from Nitin sir, the digital twins, I think this is the area where we go for the interdisciplinary approach, and maybe the computer science students as well as a lot of other interdisciplinary things can also happen. And also Nitin sir was particularly mentioning about Manchester as well as the AIT. Congratulations, sir, for the award. And also your success for this zero carbon by 2030, let it go as it is. And also with your leadership, your thinking, your team spirit, and across the globe, there must be a standing position. Hope that one day our students, as well as hopefully myself also, visit your AIT campus. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Over to the organizers. MC, please.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. As we move towards the conclusion of this inaugural segment, I invite Mr. Alfred George, Assistant Professor Civil Engineering and FDP Coordinator, to propose the words of thanks.
On behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, Jyothi Engineering College, Thrissur, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made today's inauguration of the faculty development program on integrated green construction and life cycle assessment a grand success. I sincerely thank our esteemed chief guest, Professor Nitin Kumar Tripathi, for delivering the inaugural address and inspiring us with his valuable insights. I express my deep gratitude to Reverend Father Dr. Jose Kanambra, Director Academics, for his presidential address and constant support. I also extend my sincere thanks to our respected principal, Dr. P. Sojanlal, for his encouraging words. My special appreciation goes to Dr. Alvin Varghese, Head of Department, for the warm welcome and leadership in organizing this program. My sincere thanks to all participants for your enthusiastic presence and active involvement. Finally, I extend my gratitude to the organizing team and everyone working behind the scenes for making this program a success. Thank you all once again. We look forward to your active participation in upcoming sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we conclude the inauguration ceremony of the FDP. Let us continue the sessions with renewed energy and enthusiasm. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Namaste. It's okay then. See you then. Thank you.
Now, as we move ahead with the next sessions of this FDP, it is my pleasure to introduce our next resource person for this session, Ms. Anna Joseph, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering. Ms. Anna Joseph holds an MTech in Energy and Environmental Engineering and brings with her over 15 years of rich teaching experience. Her areas of expertise include water treatment, solid waste management, and sustainable infrastructure, all of which are crucial to building a greener future. She also serves as the NBA coordinator and is well versed in NBA accreditation process. With her extensive experience in NBA audit, including conducting mock audit in various institutions and active participation in multiple courses and FDPs on NBA, she brings valuable practical insights into the topic. Today, she will be handling a session on new forms in NBA, which is highly relevant for institutions aiming for quality enhancement and accreditation excellence. We are delighted to have her with us. Ma'am, I kindly invite you to take over the session.
Thank you, Jyothi. Hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you. So, deviating from the general topic about the green construction and life cycle assessment, we'll just see our light on to the revised NBA format, which is very much required for all the faculties around India, especially. Okay, so I'll be dealing with some of the new guidelines for the SAR inputs. So as OB, we know that it is an outcome-based education, and where it always says that what we have to have some measurable quantity, or and it should be always improved. Okay, and what NBA says is like we have to say what we are doing and do what we say and prove what we do. Okay, so we have to prove what we do, and after proving what we do, if we feel like there are some shortcomings, we have to improve it. So the cycle goes on. So we'll be improving it. We will be improving the things and saying the improved thing, then again the cycle goes. So it is like a continuous improvement in the quality. And about the GAPC, the ultimate goal of GAPC is just employability, but just not employability. Employability with societal contribution. So the students which we are going out of the campus should have the ethical values, and they should always contribute to the society. So that is what the new norm is mainly focusing on. And as we know, this are the program outcomes. And from the 12 program outcomes, we have deviated to 11. And the sustainability program outcome, PO, is removed from this, but that is incorporated everywhere. So all the criteria, they have incorporated the sustainability thing, where they just removed it from the program outcomes. And they introduced the knowledge attitude profile. And a program outcome, as we all know, we will be finding out the attainment of the program outcome. Whereas this knowledge attitude profile, we will be just marking, that is, which will be specifying, will be just specifying what are the knowledge attitude profile that we have to map with, just mapping only. The other one we will be evaluating. So if we see the W case, it is again almost similar to our POs with certain differences. Okay, and if you see the POs, that is also mapped with the W keys. So some of the most of the POs are mapped. Only PO 8, 9, and 10 is not mapped with any of the W keys. Okay, so we have to submit a pre-qualifier before submitting the SAR. So first procedure is to submit a pre-qualifier. So pre-qualifier contains two parts. One is the part A, which is the profile of the institute. So we need to fill all the details of the institute. Then the program information. Program information means which is the program which is going for accreditation or applying for the accreditation. That department details we have to specify. So information of the faculty, with allied departments. So this is another important change from the old one. Before, when
the slides are not moving, we are still on the first slide.
My slides are moving.
Can we have a slideshow, please?
It is not moving.
No, it's still on
that
the
is not
first slide.
selected actually.
Please select the slideshow.
Is it visible?
The slides are visible, but it's on the first slide. The slideshow is not coming. Miss, can you send the PPT to Alfred? Now it's moving. Now it's moving.
Is it moving?
Yeah, it's on the second slide now. Please put the slideshow.
Sorry for the delay. So, hope you can see the pre-qualifier slide.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so, in part A, in pre-qualifier, there is two parts, that is profile of the institute and program information. All the program which is applying for the accreditation details we have to specify, that is information of the faculty and also the allied departments. Allied departments means all the, if computer science is one department which is applying, IT or cyber security, AD, likewise, all these will be the allied departments. So NBA is giving the list of allied departments on the last part of the SAR. Okay, after the SAR, they are giving the details of the allied departments. So then we have to give the faculty cadre ratio and student faculty ratio. And one thing what we have to take care is all these data which we are giving in the pre-qualifier will be coming into the SAR document. So we need to take good care when we are filling the pre-qualifier. Okay, this all the faculty information and faculty cadre ratio, student faculty ratio, all these will be coming to the main SAR template. So whatever data we enter, that will be entered there also. And main SAR will be having two parts. One is institution information and the other one is the information of the 9 criteria. Okay, so in part A, again, we'll be have to give all these details of the institute. Details of the institute, when we say, most of the data which we have given in the pre-qualifier will be automatically coming when we are filling the SAR. Okay, so all the other data which is not there, we have to fill. So these are the other data which is not there in the pre-qualifier. One is the One is the details of all the program which is there in the college, okay, in the institute, which are the programs, and in last 5 years, do you have any change in the intake, decrease or increase of the intake? So that is the details that we have to fill. Then again, we have to fill the details of the applied department, okay, which department is applying for. So some of it data which will be coming from the pre-qualified, okay. The other data which is not available, we have to fill. Then the other data which we have to give is total number of faculty in the college, okay, total institute, which how many faculties are there. That also department based, professor, associate professor, assistant professor count separately we have to give. Then total number of students in various departments. So academic year wise, CAY, that is the current academic year -1 and -2. So that is what generally NBA is evaluating, current academic year -1 and -2. So for all 3 years, we need to give the details of the faculty members, and also we have to give the details of the students. Then vision of the institute, mission of the institute, and contact information. So first part is this much. So SAR, this much part we have to fill. Then we have the program level criteria. In program level, we have 9 criteria. As we know, there is tier 1 institution and tier 2 institution. In tier 1 and 2, now the marks are same for all the criteria. So there is no difference between the marks for tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1, we know that the autonomous institution, and tier 2 are university under the university. So there is only slight difference in the criteria. So I'll be basically focusing on a tier 2, and wherever there is a change, I will be specifying. So first one is outcome-based curriculum. So we have the first 3, that is the outcome-based curriculum, outcome-based teaching learning, and outcome-based assessment. So some of those data is actually from the old NBA format itself, but they have just rearranged, and there are some improved versions also. So first one is the outcome-based curriculum, which is having 120 marks. The first part is the same as the old criteria one. That is, we have to specify the vision, mission of the institute, department. Vision, mission of the institute, we have already specified. That will be carry over to the criteria one. Then we have to specify about the department, PEO of the program. That is, program educational outcomes of the department, which is going for accreditation. Then defining vision, mission, PEO, how this is defined. Then dissemination, when and where we have put this vision, mission, PEO, PSO, etc. Then mapping of PEO with mission. So how we have mapped the PEO. So this is exactly the old criteria one with no difference. And this is the addition. And if you see, these additions have come from either criteria 2 or old criteria 2 or old criteria 3. Okay. So the second one is the curriculum structure and features. So this first part, that is the curriculum, program curriculum structure, that is the new thing which the new scheme has introduced. That is, we need to specify the self-learning hours. Here, LTP is very common for us. We have seen in all the syllabus this LTP, but this self-learning hours might be new for the university people. The other people might be knowing someone. So for 1 credit, they are specifying 30 hours. Okay. So for 1 credit, the students have to study for 30 hours. So there will be some lecture hour, there will be some theory tutorial hours, and there will be some practical part. So all these, after covering all these, what are is left over, we'll be giving for self-learning hours. Otherwise, if we randomly say for learning lecture hour, they need to study at least for 1.5 hours. Tutorial hour, whatever we give, that much hour they have to study. Practical, almost same hours they have to study at home. So that is according to the new national framework. This credit system have come, and we have to fill for all the subjects for 4 years for a curriculum. We have to fill this data and upload in the SAR. Then components of curriculum. Components of curriculum means basic science, how much percentage is there, how many credits are there. Then our departmental subject, how much is there, so that we have to divide it and keep it. Okay. Then the other one is we need to find out. This is for only for those who are under a university, that is tier 2 institute, that we have to specify the gaps. Okay, we have to specify the curriculum gaps. Then delivery details for this curriculum gaps, content beyond syllabus. Otherwise, which there will be some gaps. That gaps we have to fill with this content beyond. That is for tier 1 institute only. That this content beyond the syllabus we have to specify for CAY -1, -2, and -3. Okay, this does not start with CAY, current academic year. It is not starting. It is starting from my current academic year -1, -2, and -3. So for 3 academic year, we have to fill the content beyond. Okay. Then if we see tier 1, there is a slight variation. That is gap and delivery details are not there for criteria 1. Okay, for tier 1 institute, we don't have this gap identification and delivery. What they have added is the process of developing or revising the curriculum. How we are developing the curriculum. That is what to be specified for tier 1. Then strategies for educational reform. So what are the strategies we have included in the curriculum for this educational reform? So that are the 2 additions and deletions which is there for the criteria 1. And then if you see the criteria 1, the other one, these things what we say is from the old criteria 3. Okay, so PO, PSO mapping we have to find. So how many subjects are mapped with PO1? How many subjects PO2? Likewise, we have to list the courses. Then we have to find out the course articulation metrics. Okay. So course outcomes, what we are specifying, that we have to write down and find out. Then we need to find out the mapping metrics. So in criteria 1, we have the mapping metrics. For all subjects, we will be putting this 1, 3, 2, some gaps like that. So all these we have to collect, put a table, enter it. Then program articulation metrics. For the whole program, average of each subject we have to fill here. So that is program articulation metrics. So that is the end of criteria 1. So curriculum we have fixed. Then teaching learning. So what are the speciality or what are the things that we include in the teaching learning? So it is all full write-ups. There are no tables in criteria 2 where we have to describe the process followed for teaching learning. So what all are the process? Flipped classroom are we giving? Are we giving students some real life examples or some all those things that we have to ensure in these things. Okay. Then quality of capstone project. This was in criteria 3 before. Now it has come to this criteria 2. So quality. Then internship and industrial training. So what is the process the students going for internship? How do they get the internship? Who will give the internship? Are they doing internship or industrial training in the places where we have MOU? So all these things will be specified here. Then seminar and mini project. Seminar will be there in the seminar and mostly mini project will be there in the curriculum. Otherwise, if we are giving some extra mini projects or seminar, that also we have to specify. Then case studies and real life example. This is something new where we have to give some case studies, which is actually real case studies. Then real life examples. If you're doing some problem, can we give some real life values to it? Then solve the problem. So that is what we are specifying. At least for the core papers, we have to specify the we have to make sure that the staff is giving this case studies or real life example. Then SWAYAM NPTEL MOOC, that is self-learning. Are we encouraging students to do self-learning? Then only they will be having this lifelong learning. So that contains 10 marks. So how many number of students are attending this SWAYAM with certificates. So we have to collect the certificates of this MOOCs. Then solving complex engineering problems. So how do we solve this complex engineering problems? We can solve the engineering problems by our projects. Okay, we can take any real life example, solve this. All the general problems are complex, not very simple problems. So how can we solve that? So either projects or can some students go for some hackathon and find a solution for the problem that they are specifying. That is also. And all these we have to incorporate with the sustainability goals. So as we know, there are 17 sustainable SDG goals that we have to incorporate this with, we have to map this with this sustainability goals. That is why I told that sustainability PO is removed, but sustainability PO is everywhere. So in all criteria, as we go, we can see this sustainability criteria. Then what are the steps taken for enhancing industry-institute partnership? So how many MOUs we have? That is one thing. How many students are going for internship or industrial training in the institute where we have MOU? That is another thing. Then do we have any center of excellence with some of the industry? Or any industry person is coming to our institute and giving lectures or taking a part of our subjects. Okay, not just a lecturing and doing. Can we allow the externals to take a part of our subjects? So that is another thing that we have to find out, and that is what is in the industry institute partnership. So that is mostly about criteria 2. And whenever we talk about the Bloom's taxonomy in teaching learning, we will be always talking about this cognitive dimension only, but that does not serve the purpose. So we need to go for the psychomotor and affective domain. The GAPC specifically says about the affective domain, where the students should have this societal and ethical values when they come out of the institute. Then also psychomotor domain gives more practical exposure to students. Then these are the sustainability goals. I will be explaining this a little bit in criteria now. Criteria 3, that is outcome-based assessment. So we have the curriculum, then we have planned how will be the teaching learning process. Now the next stage is how is the assessment? How do we assess? So that also carries 120 marks. Then this is first one is the how do we evaluate our students? That let it be our assignment, our internal exams, let it be our class test or whatever it is. What is the process of evaluation? So that can be same full for the college, same for the college, or otherwise it can be different for the different departments. Then what is the pattern or evaluation pattern of the semester end exam? So if we are a university, autonomous institution, they will be having their own specific, otherwise they will be having the university curriculum followed or university pattern followed, that we have to specify here. Then evaluation of laboratory work. When we talk about the evaluation of laboratory work, that one thing we have to take care, that is continuous evaluation is what we need. It is not just a marks in the report. We need to have continuous evaluations. That means their classes should be monitored. How they behave in the class, that also should be monitored. Are they submitting the records at right time? Are they writing the records properly? So continuous evaluation, that is what, and we should have a rubrics for this continuous evaluation. That is what the NBA specifies. Then evaluation of industrial training internship. In criteria 2, we have specified how we will be going for this industrial training or internship. But now in criteria 3, how do we evaluate this? So that is another thing. Then the next one is evaluation of projects. So evaluation of projects, generally in the curriculum or syllabus, we'll be having a proper rubrics and things like that. Follow that, record it, and it should be there in the file. So that is what evaluation of projects. Then this is a new thing, that is 3.6, that is evidence of addressing sustainable development goals. So are we addressing the sustainable development goals through our projects, micro project, mini project, internship, or hackathon, whatever, wherever we are addressing the sustainable goals, we have to map the sustainable goals with our projects or micro projects, mini projects, internship, whatever it is. So that is what is the aim of this 3.6. That is a write-up, and we have to have this proof for this. So whatever we are specifying in the write-up, that proof we have to keep. So if we are saying that this project is having this SDG, So we have to take that projects and map it and make sure that that is recorded. Then attainment. This is as per the old criteria 3 itself. Attainments of course outcome we have to have, then attainment of the program outcome. So when we will be having direct attainment and we'll be having indirect attainment from some surveys, and they will be having an overall, collecting the overall attainment. So this is same as the old criteria 3. So that is the end of criteria 3. And criteria 4 is about students' performance. Okay, students' performance is criteria 4. When we talk about criteria 4, some of the data will be which we have given in the pre-qualifier will be coming directly to the SAR. Other data we have to give. So before starting the criteria 4, we have to fill 3 tables, that is 4A, 1, 2, 4A, B, and C. So first one, we have to give data about current academic year, what is the sanctioned intake, total number of students admitted, via lateral entry, if there is some separate divisions, is there any supernatural quota like EWS and things like that. So for current academic year, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. All these years we have to give the data. -4 starts with the last year graduate. So last year pass out -1 and -2. So for all these academic years, we have to give the admission details. The next one is multiple entry exit. That is, if there is any student who have left the course, who have entered in between. So all these things we have to enter in the 4.4b. Then 4c, that is about students graduated within the stipulated period of time. Within the 4 years of the study, how many students graduated without any backlog? With and without backlog means at 4 years they should be full pass. That's it. At the end of the 4th year, they should be full pass. So that will be we will be entering, that is L by G -2, -1, -3. So they will be having data till 4 years. The others will be having only till 3rd year, 2nd year, and 1st year. Then enrollment ratio. So sanctioned intake of the program for last 3 academic. So we have, if we are entering the table 4.A, it will be automatic. 4.A and B, it will be automatically entered here. Okay, so just then success ratio of students. So this also, it comes from the table 4.4C. It comes from the 4C. So LYG -1 and -2. Okay, success rate. But here when we calculate, that is this denominator will be always the sanctioned intake. Okay, sanctioned intake plus lateral entry if there is some students, that also we have to consider. If we have 60 intake and if we have only 35 or 40 students, still this A will be 60 plus lateral entry. So that is what we have to take care. So then we have to find out the academic performance of 1st year, 2nd year, and 3rd year. So at the end of 1st year, how many students passed? So this is the mean API for these 3. So the same table for 1st year, 2nd year, and 3rd year we have to fill. Then placement, higher studies, and entrepreneurship. So how many students are placed? Then how many students have gone for higher studies and how many have gone for entrepreneurship? So for placement, we have to have the joining letter, at least a joining letter, ID card, all those things that we have to keep. Then only they will be allowing. The MBA needs all these background documents for this as proof. Then entrepreneurship, is there any student registered company that we have to, that company registration need to be specified during, we have to provide that during the inspection time. Then in criteria 4, we have the professional activities. So what are the different professional bodies and clubs that we have in the institute, in the department, that we have to specify here. Then we need to specify the list of events that we have organized in our department. What are the different programs organized? That is for CAY -1, -2, and -3 that we have to specify. Then also next is student participation. So how many students have participation? Actually, they need state, national, and international participation. That is what actually they need. Then publication of journal. This is new one. Sorry, this is the old one. That is magazines and newsletter. What we have in the departments, 2 newsletter or 1 magazine or whatever we specify in our department, whatever we have. And we need to have a student editor. Student editor, a name should be there in the magazine. So then only they will be accepting it. Then student publication. This is new. That is, before student publication was not having any mark. Now student publication is having 5 marks. So we have to give the journal conference or whatever it is, then the volume, issue, ISBN number, etc. we have to give. And we have to keep the paper as proof. Then criteria 5. Criteria 5, old criteria 5 is actually split into 2. That is criteria 5 and 6 with some changes. Criteria 5 documents, whatever we had before, almost the same. There is no much difference. In this table, if you see, this upper ID for faculty is it is starred if any they are asking, but it is better that we have this upper ID for all the faculty in the department. And when we do NPTEL courses also, if we give this upper ID, that will be good. So this is the first table that we have to give. In most of the case, what happens is this comes from the pre-qualifier. Okay, whatever data we have given in the pre-qualifier, it will be coming into the criteria file. So we have to make sure that the pre-qualifier is properly filled. Then student faculty ratio. This also comes from the pre-qualifier. So whatever data which we have given, then faculty qualification, that also pre-qualifier, whatever data which we have given, it is just carry over. Faculty get a proportion also the same. Only extra thing that we have to give is the visiting faculty details. So at least 50 hours of teaching hour we have to show for it. Accepting this visiting faculty with proper payment details and things like that. Appointment order should be there, payment details should be there. Then 50 hours of working hours should be shown so that they will be accepting as a visit. Faculty retention, that is according to the data field, they will be calculating the faculty retention, will be calculated automatically. Then for criteria 6, faculty contribution, this is where we will be having, we faculty we have to take care. That is membership. So we need to have a membership in a professional society. Then STP, we will be, are we going for as a resource person in FDP or STTP? So that is another criteria. Then participation. Participation most of us will be having. Then MOOC, faculty MOOC. So we have to at least 3 to 4 for a batch of 60 students. If we are counting the teachers, at least 3 to 4 teachers, faculty should have this MOOC certification in an academic year. Not the repeated same staff. If we are all the staff in this 3 academic years, that will be better. And in criteria 6 also we will be considering -1, -2, and -3. CA1, -1, -2, and -3. So FDP conduct organized in the department. So at least 5-day FDP we have to organize 5-day FDP. Then 4 marks for 2 points per FDP and 4 marks per year. So maximum 2 FDP with minimum 5 days is enough. Then in total marks of 10. Okay, so 1 academic year we have to conduct 2, other 2 academic year 1 itself is enough. Okay. Then faculty support, innovative projects, and faculty internship training. So in tier 1, additional to all these documents, we need to have another one, that is the faculty contribution in developing SWAYAM or more courses. So do we have any content developed? So that is the one difference from the criteria of tier 2 and tier 1. And here in 6.2 also, we have to have the academic research, development activities, sponsored research, consultancy, institution seed money. So whenever we talk about this 6.2, 2, 3, 4, 5, the data should not be, I mean, whatever data given in the sponsored research should not be shown in consultancy, should not be shown in seed money. So that we have to make sure. These three things, these three, that is 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5, data should not be the same. Okay, should be given separate data. And in a tier 1 institute, number of PhD students which is enrolled in the department and graduated in the department also should be given. That is in the tier 1 institute only. So that is all about criteria 6. So in criteria 6, there are one thing that we have to take care, that is the faculty internship and training. So we have to undergo internship or training like our students. So that contains 10 marks. So that we have to take care and start doing internship or training in some institutes, so that we will be we can show it in the end. Then criteria 7, facilities and technical support. This is all 6 the same. There is no difference. Do we have adequate well-equipped labs? Then do we have additional facilities created? Maintenance of laboratories. What are the safety measures in laboratory? Do we have a project lab, and what are the activities? So these are the things that is the criteria 7, which was same as the old criteria. So I'm just moving on to continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is also almost the same. That is the action taken for COs, POs, and PSOs. So what are the action taken for non-attainment of CO, PSOs, or improvement, non-attainment, not only non-attainment, for improvement of CO, PO, PSOs, we have to write the action plan. So we have to plan in ahead. That is, after getting the attainment of last year, we have to plan for what are the activities, and then we have to go about it. Then academic audits. What are the different academic audits do we have? Internal audits from the IQAC part, then from external audits. What are the things that we have to specify? This 8.3 and 8.4, if you see, this can be collected. 8.4 will be collected from the criteria 4. It will be directly coming to this part. And this we are collecting the data in criteria 6, the number of papers, PhD, etc., so that we will be just entering the data here. So these data, this 8.3 is actually from criteria 6, and 8.4 is actually from criteria 4. So while we are entering this here, this will be 8.4 will be directly automatically coming in filled. So we just have to verify it. That's it. Then criteria 9. Criteria 9, if you see, we had criteria 9 and 10 before, and they have combined criteria, some of the criteria, old criteria 8, 9, and 10 combined. So it is a little elaborative criteria, and this is a institution criteria. It is not a department criteria. This is the institution criteria. That is student support and governance. So how the institute work for the students. That is what says the criteria 9. So first part of it is first year faculty, student faculty ratio. So we have to enter the sanctioned intake for CAY -1, -2, -3. Then we need to enter the details of all the faculty who have taught in first year. So there is a column after this where we will entering the all the data. Then this will be picking up automatically and calculated. So our tedious work is to enter data of all the faculty who have taught in first year for CAY -1 and -2. So that is what we have to do in the first part of it. Second part is mentoring system. This was there in the last SAR also. So how do we go about with the mentoring? What is the system of mentoring? What is the process of mentoring? Do we have a counseling system? Do we have a counselor? So all those details we have to specify. So after faculty mentoring, are we sending them for counselors? So all those things, details we have to enter in the mentoring system. Then the second part of it is feedback analysis. Are we taking a feedback? We have to take a feedback on teaching learning process, and what are the corrective and measures taken. That is very important. So we might be taking feedbacks. So what are the different corrective measures what we are taking, that we have to specify here. So that is very important. And Feedback on academic facilities. So what all academic facilities we provide? Maybe our labs, our teaching facilities, our classrooms, our all those academic facilities, what all things we give, we have to get a feedback. Okay, that there also we need to have an action plan. For this action taken report, we should have for this feedback on academic facilities. Then training and placement. So what are the supports that the institute gave for students for training and placement? So general data should be there, and specific data of the department where the student is, where the department is going for training and placement. So all those data we have to keep it separate. So department data should be available. Common data for the college also should be available. Then startup and entrepreneurship data. So IEDC cell, IIIC cell, all these data, what all activities we are doing, what is the constitution, who all are the members, what are the activities, what they do, all these should be provided in the startup, IEDC, all these activities should be provided. Then governance and transparency. So what is the, how is the governing body, what is the administrative setup of the institute, that it was there in the last SAR also. Then transparency, then budget allocation for the institute and for the department specific, program specific budget allocation. Then what is the quality of learning resources, that also we have to specify. E-governance. So e-governance means paperless paperless administration. So are we sending all things through mails or things like that? All these things we have to specify in e-governance. Then this is where I need to talk a little bit more, because this is a new thing, initiative and implementation of sustainable development goals. So as we know, we have 17 sustainability goals. So if you see, this are the 17 sustainability goals. So we have to implement most of it or all of this in our campus in one way or other way. So I will give you some examples for some of the sustainability things what we can do. So some of the campus will be having green energy, solar or biogas. Then waste management, some of campus will be plastic free campus. Then they'll be having a wastewater treatment plants, water treatment plants. Then we can have partnership with some recyclers. So okay, so some recyclers can come into the campus and take the materials which can be reused. Then composting of organic waste, that is another thing what we can do. Then for preserving water, can we go for rainwater harvesting? Then can we have a net zero campus? For that, can we have a EV charging station? Green cover, can we increase the green cover of the campus? Then smart energy or building automation, can we have sensoring lights, signals, etc. Then energy efficient equipments, all the equipments which is used inside the campus, can we have this energy efficient equipments? That is another thing. Then quality education. So do we encourage students to do MOOC? Okay, so to give quality education. Then skill development centers. Do we have any skill development centers, or we encourage students to do more skill development courses? So that is the another thing. Then do we have this paperless governance, reduce, recycle, reuse, all these things we can have in our campus. So specifically for each SDG, some of the examples, not all SDGs are not specified here, some examples. So SDG 1, that is about no poverty. SDG 1 is no poverty. So can we provide some financial support? We may be giving some scholarship for students. So we can convert that into SDG 1, financial support. Then food donation drive. NSS might be giving some food donation drive. Students might be asking to give food for one time for some people, and they will be collecting the food and giving in some general hospital or something like that. So can we do something like that? Then digital literacy program in rural areas. So can we go to some rural areas and have this digital literacy? So that is some examples. So there will be n number of activities we can do. Actually, if we see, we can map all the SDGs with some of the other activities, which we are already doing. So we can extend that to some extent also. Then SDG 3, that is about good health and well-being. So can we do some blood donation camps? We are already doing it. So map it with SDG 3. Then stress management workshop, sports, yoga, first aid and CPR trainings, all these things we can give inside the campus and map with SDG 3. Then SDG 4, that is about quality education. So OBE, if we are properly implemented, that itself is a quality education. Then allow students, more students to attend MOOC courses, then internships, okay, proper internship. All this leads to a quality education. These most of things we are doing. So just map it and properly. And one thing that we have to make sure is whenever we are doing or mapping with SDG, there is a column in the finance column with SDG. So what are the activities in the department, college also, department also, there is a column where we have to fill the SDG activities. What is the amount that we spent in academic year, CAY -1, -2, like that. So we have to whenever we arrange a program, we have to make sure that the finance is also mapped with it. Then only it will be proper. Then SDG 5 is about gender equality. So can we have some women empowerment program like self-defense training, leadership training, entrepreneurship training, campus safety audit. That is another thing that we can do. So all these can be mapped with SDG 5. Then if we are going with SDG 6, SDG 6 is clean water and sanitation, where we can specify about rainwater harvesting, STP. Do we have STP, water quality monitoring system? Most probably in the colleges, we will be having a water quality monitoring system because we will be providing some coolers, water coolers for students. So we need to have monitor the water quality so that we can map with SDG 6. Then SDG 7, that is about the affordable green energy. So solar panels, LED lighting, energy audits, all these things we can. Some colleges will be having the solar panels. So can we change the traditional lights with the LED lighting system? So we can conduct an energy audit and to replace LED lights, how far it will cost, that we can give a proposal to the management and see how far we can be implemented. Then what are the scholarships? Criteria 10 is about reducing inequality. So it is somewhat related to no poverty also. So scholarship, inclusive facilities, both gender and also high end students and low income students all are in a common area. Then SDG 12 is about responsible consumption and production. So can we segregate the waste and reuse it to some extent? Can we compost it and use that compost for some farming? Then paperless governance, so that we are not using any extra paper. Reuse the paper. So all these waste segregate and reuse it. So that is about SDG 12. SDG 13 is about climate action, where we can tree plants, green campus, and campus audit, etc. So these are some of the examples. If you go through or if you analyze it, you can find n number of other activities which can be implemented for this SDG. As the time short, I'm just moving a little bit more faster. So this is another new thing, that is innovative education initiative. That is, what are the educational reforms that we are implementing? That is, we need to have an academic bank of credits for students. Then, what are the human values which we give? Then, what are the multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary curriculum what we provide? Mostly for autonomous institutions that they can implement. Others, they can think about, or they can give some other courses which is related to this. Then IKS, Indian Knowledge System. Then you'll be having a class on this IKS, I think tomorrow. Then teaching of Indian languages. So what are Indian languages? Then support economically, socially, and physically challenged people. Then action plan for slow learners. So these are the innovative education. Action plan for slow learners was there before. Now it has just shifted the place. That's it. Then faculty performance appraisal. So all the institution will be having a faculty performance appraisal system. Then the last one is the outreach activities. So what are the outreach activities? We'll be having an NSS and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in our college. So what are the activities, what they do, socially relevant. Also we can connect with the socially connect activities like project. What we do, is it socially relevant? Is there any project? So if we combine all the departments, there will be n number of projects which will be socially relevant. So socially intensive, any students are doing, or any product development. All these things we can map with this outreach activity. So this is just a guidelines, just a overview of the new system. So I might have missed something as time was little short. I might have gone little fast. If you have some doubt, you can ask anytime. Okay, thank you for listening. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Thank you, Miss. Now, I would like to invite Miss Anju MJ, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, to kindly deliver the words of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel truly honored to propose the vote of thanks for today's enlightening online session. On behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, I extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Ms. Anna Joseph, NBA Coordinator of Jyothi Engineering College, for delivering such an insightful and informative session on new forms in NBA. Your clear explanation and practical insights have greatly enhanced our understanding and will certainly guide us in aligning with the latest accreditation standards. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank all the participants for your active involvement and engagement, which made the session more interactive and meaningful. With this, I conclude the vote of thanks. Thank you all.